All right.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay. So happy Tuesday. I'm so happy that and excited for you that so many of you are on this call, even though it's a Tuesday and things had to shift for this week. If you were not on a Sunday night briefer call in regards to the 90-day sprint and you're going to be a part of that group, I did find it. It's not lost in the cloud world now. So if you need it sent to you, tell me and I will privately send it to you. I know that's not everybody in this is necessarily in the sprint group, or maybe all of you are. So, but I just wanted to throw that in there as well. And while I was figuring out what content I wanted to talk with you guys about tonight and kind of going through things, I actually had to break this down into two separate Zooms because there's so much stuff that you guys are just like little sponges wanting to like hear and grow and learn. And I was like, you know what? I can't give them all that information tonight. I'm going to do it in two. So I've got tonight's Zoom figured out and I got on next Monday's Zoom figured out. So we will be really good to go with the content. So, all right. Okay. So, all right, if you guys are all on, your screens are on. I was going to tell you one thing that I really love and that we're doing in our 90-day sprint group too is really practicing on having our screens undone and your video on. Nobody cares. I mean, unless you're taking a bath or in the bathroom or something, right? Nobody cares. Everybody on this team and is really down to earth and we just live it real and it's fine and we want to see you and we want to see each other and we don't care, right? So show your little faces, and I want you just to kind of throw your hand up if you ever. I was thinking about something today. My daughter has to do a college level class she's going to be a junior, and I got like this $300 fee that came through my portal through school. I'm like, what in the world is this? And Evelyn was like, well, that's from my public speaking class through the university. And I was like, oh, I didn't know you were taking a public speaking class through the university. And she's like, yeah. So we talk about that for a little bit. We've talked about how she feels about the classes she's taken. And I was just thinking about us and our public speaking and on Zooms and stuff. And kind of throw your hand up if you feel really, off put or nervous or anxious or have any emotions that are not positive surrounding public speaking. If that is you, totally raise your hand, right? Now, you guys might not think that's me. And I will tell you, if I'm honest, I don't really honestly care about public speaking. I don't love attention drawn to myself, but I will do it if I know it's going to help somebody. It doesn't bother me. But I can tell you, Jessica Heffley, who's one of our Diamond uplines, she is such an introvert. And there are so many people within this business line that are introverted and quiet and have a paralyzing fear within the area of public speaking. They don't want to lead a Zoom. They don't want to do any of those things. And I'm here to tell you, I have seen progressions of so many people within this that are introverted and have fears and don't think they can do it. And I can promise you 1,000% that you can do it. You can be here, you can shine, and you can grow. And what is going to help you within that is confidence. And guess how you gain confidence? You gain confidence by doing, right? And that's the part that's a little hard for us because we never really want to force ourselves. Our brains want to keep us in a safe space. So we don't want to really force ourselves to do something that's uncomfortable. And don't worry, I'm not going to have you guys all like lead a big old Zoom call or anything like that. But that being said, little nuggets of information where people are willing to share their testimonies or like share about a product and like a live video in a group or something like that. It's really, really good for us because you're going to get to that short clip of experience and be like, I nailed that. That was awesome. Or I screwed up and that was pretty funny actually. Or, I mean, you can ask some of the first people like Heather and Brandy that were on here when I first started. I could not like navigate a Zoom call through at all. Like my trail of thoughts was ridiculous. So nobody cares. Everybody is gracious, right? So it doesn't matter. Just keep practicing, just keep doing, just keep talking, and you will gain confidence as you improve. You learn by doing. So, okay. So, okay. So if you are introverted and if you are afraid, and if you have a fear of being in a Zoom or anything like that, I want you to message Brandy or myself and be like, you know what? I have a fear of being in the Zoom. And so therefore, I want to be on a Zoom for just a couple of minutes to work through that. I want you to tell us all about that. Okay. All right. So end of the month is happening. We have the rest of tonight and we have tomorrow. And I just want to talk to you about somebody that I have been thinking about a lot lately, and that is Miss Brandy Beener. And Brandy is constantly engaging on the team pages. So I'll go through my phone and it'll say notification, like Brandy Beener takes so-and-so in the Reset Me group. Brandy Beener encouraged, or it doesn't say she encouraged somebody, but I can go in there and be like, they tagged somebody in this post, or she commented on this. Like she's always forever engaging in the threads, and she is engaging in the messages, and she's engaging on the team pages, and she's leading her team and teaching them essentially to go to those spaces as safe spaces, right? To be able to learn and to grow. The other thing that she does that I love, along with, she just has a very positive light about her and a soft and a gentle kindness about her. Another thing that I love that she does is, even though she has like this soft, gentle kindness, she's not afraid to be like vulnerable or like sheepish, you know? So she'll be in the threads, and I just posted something tonight and it was like all about, and it probably did scare some people. It's a lot of big questions, like, you know, how are you feeling when you think about tomorrow? You know, how are you feeling? Like, okay, like let's look at it. Let's be honest with ourselves. When I hit the pillow Wednesday night, where do I want to be? What action steps do I want to be there? And these aren't our goals, they're your goals. If you change your goals, that is completely 100% fine with us, right? Or if you want, you know, as long as you're doing it for the right reason, right? If you're not, it'll still be fine with us, but we're going to help you grow into the reason to make sure it's a healthy reason for you. But Brandy was able and willing to totally go into that thread and just share everything right away. And that is just super admirable. Not, you know, everything is all rainbows and butterflies and sunshines within the business all the time, right? Just like in any space of life. And so I asked Brandy if she would be willing to talk to you, number one, about like engaging in the team pages and how she does that and why she does that and what value she gets from that and what she has seen as a result of doing that. That's the first thing that I was going to have her talk to you about. And then the second thing I was going to have her talk to you about is how she's engaging within the threads and like really reading them and really absorbing them and responding, and like what's she doing between her ears to cause her to get her thoughts out and produce the actions. And then what she's noticing as a result of doing it. So those two aspects, and Brandy said, yeah, I'd totally be willing to talk to them about that. And so she's going to just chat with you guys for just a couple minutes about that. Okay, go ahead, Brandy.
All right, thanks. Thanks, Kim, and thanks for leading. And I love our team pages and I engage on them. First of all, I think because I don't want to have to think about reinventing the wheel, and I want to take pressure off myself. I also want people in the community that are trusting me with the products to not just connect with me. I don't think of us as like all of these in these individual little boats here and there. I feel like we're constructing this cruise ship, so to speak, and we're developing these spaces for people to go. Like people who want to go dancing on the cruise ship can go dancing. People who want to go eat can go eat. People who want to go exercise can go exercise. So I feel like on our team pages, we're creating this space which is a safe space for people to go to. And I want people to go there. And I'm envisioning, okay, when my team grows and I'm a diamond down the road, I'm not going to be able to individually reach each person, but the duplication starts right there, I think, from day one. And we all do better in community. And I think people will get bored with me, or maybe they don't resonate with me on maybe one thing. They may resonate with someone else in the group. And so they find a lot more support like we all do in community. So I think that's what gets me going, because the team pages are where I find ideas to share, to post about. They are where I find tips and tricks to help people who I know might have a certain problem, and then connecting my people to those resources. And I think that's helping me and helping them. And I think we've all been in that place where we've benefited from the pages, and we see the more we can engage on it, then they start engaging on it. And when they invite someone, they're going to engage them on the pages. And it'll be easier without having to try to reinvent. And I feel like I do it now. I stay up to date with the pages. I look at notifications, because if I don't do it now, it's just going to sit there later. I won't know where to find it. And I'll be overwhelmed. So I kind of just keep up with what's going on. And then I think, oh, who could benefit from this? Who could benefit from that? And the search feature in them has helped a lot too. And then what was the other thing? Okay, so the questionnaires in our groups. Yes. You want me to move on to that?
Yeah, sure. Sorry,
Okay.
my I had to like turn up my microphone, and so
Oh,
now
okay.
my mute button was hidden, so that's why I wasn't talking. But yeah, if you want to move into that, that would be awesome.
Okay. So I feel like what I got from, I wrote down relief, because I got to express my feelings, and I got to just put it in writing somewhere in a safe place. So I got relief. I got clarity. It helps you define. Like, I feel like then I just got to see what it was I was facing, what it is I'm feeling, what it is I'm facing, which gives me then a direction to go. And I'm saying it in a safe space where I have this community. And really, once we write something down, then we can break it down, and then we can get down. So to me, it just was a huge relief to engage in that. And it's been a practice in life, I think, to become comfortable feeling uncomfortable. And the more that I lean into just being comfortable with being uncomfortable, then I feel like it's a lot easier to just dive in and be like, I don't care if I look like an idiot. I don't care if this feels uncomfortable. I don't care how stupid it sounds. I'm going to try it and see how I like it. And it's like green eggs and ham, right? He's like, just try it. You might like it. And he finally tried it, and he liked the green eggs and ham. So it's easier to just dive in and try it than just fear it and think about it and be totally overwhelmed about it. And I like what you said earlier, Kim, about confidence. I read this quote. I actually wrote it down because I really liked it, that confidence comes not from always being right, but from not fearing to be wrong. And we're in a safe place to do this and grow together, and facing our fears and doing it scared can help us get to where we want to be. So that it's good for us, and it's good for the people we're serving. It's good for each other. So those are the thoughts in my mind.
Keep going. Go ahead.
No, those are the thoughts that go through my mind. Like, it's really good for us to, like, with our children too. Like, how many of us are parents and we lead our children, and we want them to be successful adults. We want them to be adults that can handle problems, that can be mentally intelligent, emotionally intelligent, and we try and model being human. So in our business, we should just model being ourselves. If I show up and try to be something I'm not, I'm going to fail. But if I just show up as who I am, where I'm coming from, like, I'm going to learn something, and I'm going to help people along the way. We each have superpowers, and that's what makes us each special. And we can lean into that. And we've all had times in life where, like, we fear something so much, and then the thing we feared never happened. Or maybe the thing did happen, and then we're like, oh, I survived. I got through it. It made me stronger. So we can do this. We can all totally do this.
I love that. And that is such a healthy mindset, like, surrounding that, and just such an inspirational and motivating way to just manage your thoughts and just guide yourself through that. So much of doing this is honestly about managing our thoughts and parenting ourselves and guiding ourselves, right? But when you have like years and decades of information of past experiences, it's challenge. It can be challenging in moments to change those things. And you do a really, really good job of doing that and keeping yourself just steady and just like objective, and it's very motivating. So thank you for doing that. I appreciate that. That is amazing. Way to go. So
Thank you for your
yeah, you guys go ahead and edify Miss Brandy in the chat. A takeaway that you all, plan to apply as you move on throughout your week and stuff, in what she had to share, because guess what? Sometimes this business can feel like an uphill battle, especially me. I am an optimist. I've really changed some of that because my husband is such a realist, but it can be very easy for me to be like, oh, this is fine. It's fine. But you know what? It's not all rainbows and sunshines all the time. Sometimes people ignore you. Sometimes people ghost you. Sometimes people turn their orders off. All of those things happen. It's not all rainbows and rose beams all the time. That was not the right. I mean, what's a rose beam, right? But you know what I mean. There's challenging stuff that happens here and there, and that's okay. We should expect that and anticipate that. Motivation isn't always going to happen like innately. It's not always going to be there. And I think that that's one of the things that when we're growing up in our culture, we think that we need to feel motivated in order to then act. And that is like one of the worst disservices that I think we're taught as kids. Like, well, what do you feel like doing? Do you feel like doing this? Let's go do it. Well, no, you have to learn. You have to learn the process of doing the action that's going to increase your confidence, which is going to motivate you. That is what real motivation comes from. Are you going to get motivation here and there? Sometimes that doesn't come out of anywhere. Sure, like dopamine rushes, right? But those things don't work long term. And so that's why it's really important to think about the things that you're really wanting and do the actions which will produce your confidence levels, increase your confidence levels, because when those confidence levels increase from positive experiences, that's when your motivation is going to go up as you see the results that come from it and you feel encouraged, inspired, and proud. Because just innate motivation doesn't always happen. So you have to think to yourself, okay, like as you're looking for your goal at the end of the month, what you want to have happen tomorrow night, do I really want this, or do I want to wait? It's the end of the month. This is what has to have happen. I think most of you should have gotten kind of a little bit of a perspective on that today from us. This is what has to happen if I want to be in this space. No judgment attached. This is what it'll look like. This is what it'll look like for my team and my downline. Do I want to go for this, or do I not want to make this happen? How will I feel about it if I do? Is it okay if I do and I fail? Is that okay? And how will I feel about myself if I don't go for it? Will I be okay with that? How will my team receive me if I'm leading a team as well? And whatever you guys decide or choose, like that's where we all support you. Like Brandy and I support you in that. What we do encourage is whatever choice that you make surrounding those things, that you are not doing it based on scarcity mindset. You want to shift your mindset, because and just look at it as in everything and every message you're sending out and everything that you're doing through the next 2 days, you're going to get something out of it. You are either going to get growth in your team size, growth in your leadership, or you're going to learn something from it. So no matter what you do, no interaction or no level of messaging or following up is wasted. You will gain something by doing. So I want to talk, now that Brandy shared her perspective with us and encouraged us and inspired us, I want to talk to you a little bit about the follow-up piece that we have for the next couple of days that's going to be happening here. And I want to just encourage you to fight for the things that you want. And you don't want to just send messages the last 3 days. I know we've talked about this in length a lot, but really making this a habit throughout the entire month, so you don't feel like you're just messaging and reaching out to people, drawing strings at the very end of the month. So, and I want you to think about it like a bank account, okay? You have to put money in your bank account in order to go to the bank and take money out of your bank account, right? So it is the deposits that you are putting into the people that are going to rock your month. If you don't ever deposit in the relationship, if you're not inspiring, adding value to their life, warmly, or sincerely asking about them, or whatever your gift or value is that you're awesomely talented at in this world, if you're doing that and depositing in whichever way you know best, absolutely, you're adding value, you're building those relationships, you're having those conversations. Messages are not gonna take people by surprise, right? But if they only hear from you on the last day of the month, they can feel that and they can sense that. If it's like hey, I'm desperate, I'm going to give you a 10% off code and let's make this happen. Right? So just something to be in tune to throughout the whole month. Reaching out the entire month is key. It's the way that you're loving on people throughout the entire month. So because if you're just messaging them at the very end of the month with hey, this, and I haven't really talked to you in like 15 years and I haven't added any value to your life, but hey, want to do these products to reset your body quick for me? I'll give you a 10% off code, right? How do you think that person is going to feel? They're going to feel targeted, right? But I also don't want to message. I don't want to also send us false sense and discourage you. Like you might be like, wow, like all of these, Kim's saying that I need to be doing follow-up and all of this. But if I follow up at the end of the month, I'm going to be taking deposits out of what wasn't deposited into, right? Well, no, that's not the case, because if you have been throughout the month loving on people, that won't be a concern. So just like I said, the approach not to do like, here's a 10% off, now's the time, boom, like that doesn't sound like what's in it for them, right? A more appropriate approach that is helpful, that is them centered, that is pouring on them and making a deposit would look like, hey, Stacy, or whoever's name it is, right? I know that you have a goal of getting extra energy. I see your Facebook posts. I see how tired you are. And I see you talking about needing to like drink your Coke to stay awake during the day. I feel you. I totally have been there. And I get that it's hard, right? I know that you have a lot of kiddos. I know that you're busy through the day. And I know that you're transitioning into a busy season right now with school happening. I want to let you know that I hear you and I see you, and you deserve to feel better. And I would love and be honored to lock arms with you. Can I help you get back on track? Do you see the difference? The difference between that, and I can type that up in our thread too if you want me to. But the difference conveyed in the tone and the motive between that versus, hey, how's it going? I heard you wanted to get started on some weight loss. I have a 10% off code. What do you think? Do you know what I mean? Like it just has a different vibe about it. So that's what I want you to think about as you're messaging people, because there is a difference. And I want you to know that you can follow up with these people in that genuine way, because you've been making deposits into them in your life with them, right? And people can feel the vibe that you're portraying and the message that you're sending. So one thing that I want to challenge you on today is I want you to think about your point goal. And I want you to think about your immediate point goal. Like you might have seen the thing that I had sent you earlier today. What needs to happen, non-negotiable for you, to feel good and know that you did your piece in a way that you're going to feel you're in line with what you wanted to set up for yourself in terms of what you value and stuff. What is that point goal precisely? Okay. And I want you to write it down, and I don't want you to be afraid to write it down, because sometimes we won't write it down because we're afraid we're going to fail. But guess what? If you put the steps in action, our time frames can shift because this is life and it's not perfection, but you are not failing by putting a point goal in there. You are going to be making a difference regardless of the outcome. Sometimes it's even a greater outcome than you anticipate, right? So what is your immediate goal? I want you to write it down. And then I want you to think, what is your push goal? So, okay, like I would really love to grow by, 40 points. I think I can do that. That's like 8 more orders. I know like Sally has 3 people that were on the fence. I bet I could encourage Sally and help her see that if she gets 3 people with her, she's going to earn $400 and go fast start silver. I bet you I could get the 5 additional orders. Let's see where they can come from. Well, I know my aunt was going to place an order last month because she wanted to reset and she didn't. I'm going to reach out with her and encourage her and inspire her, because I know that she will do it and she needs it and wants it. And then let's see. Oh, you know what? I didn't recruit all my people myself. I only recruited and sponsored 1 person. I have a couple people on the fence and I've been building and engaging a relationship with. I'm going to try those people too and do some of those follow-ups. And I'm going to do some posting in my stories and on my Facebook page. I'll put one of those up tomorrow morning because I know in the morning is a really good time to do that. So I think that's another good method. And you just like weigh out the different ways that you could achieve things. So let's say your push goal is 40 points. Awesome. Where are those 40 points going to come from? You can message Brandy and I. We can help you break down a plan and the approach to do it. And it doesn't have to feel scary. Remember, it's just the emotion that we attach to things. The information that's here in terms of your goals and where you want to be and where you want to go and what you need to do or what has to happen to get there. Those things are not scary in and of themselves. The only thing that's scary is the feelings the thoughts that we tell ourselves about that and the feelings that we then attach to it. So what is your immediate goal? What is your push goal? And how can we support you in that with a plan of action? Okay. Brandy, do you have any additional thoughts on any of that?
No, I think you covered. I just really think that the best work that can be done, just to kind of piggyback off what you were just saying, the best work that you can do for your business is really focusing on those thoughts, and just really reframing the thoughts that you have. When I first started this business, you hear that all the time. Kim and I telling you this, probably not the first time you've heard this. Everyone talks about it on pretty much every coaching call you can think of. But when I first started, I used to think that was just a bunch of nonsense. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever, my thoughts. But when I actually did the work and really started thinking about what my thoughts are regarding whatever situation it is in my business, and I changed that, and I ignored and let go of the negative aspect of those thoughts, I really did see growth going forward. So some of you are younger in your businesses. And I just want to let you know that by really reframing those thoughts and thinking differently, you will see yourself grow because you won't hold yourself back anymore. It's our subconscious that keeps us held back when we are speaking negativity in our business, or we're thinking something negative about what we just did. When we shame ourselves, when we guilt ourselves, when we think we did bad this month in our business, it's all of that negativity that really keeps you stuck and doesn't allow you to move forward. So thought work is so important. And you see Kim put a lot in the threads, like, let's reframe that, let's look at that differently. Or often a question you can ask yourself, and you see Kim asking that a lot, is, okay, so what if it didn't have to look that way? What if you weren't stressed out about that? Or what if you didn't look at that situation for what it was? What if we looked at it differently? Really getting into practice on that, getting into that practice seriously helps your business so much. So just be open-minded in that. And for those of you who are in our 90-day sprint group, we're going to be working a lot on that. And that's a tool that you're going to walk away from that group having moving forward in your business. So really excited about it.
Awesome. Thank you. That's great. Those are all great things. In fact, you know what? That's what I was going to elaborate on into the next part of this, but I'm going to leave that for next time, is the thought models to move your needle forward. But I'm like, that's just too much content for one night. I think this is good. So, but yeah, for sure. So the rest of this week today, tomorrow at 11:59, there's a lot of time between now and then, you guys. You can do it. Message us or within the thread, or Brandy and I, and tell us where you want to be immediately, and then your big vision push goal. And we'll help you with that. The other piece is that we did have a Thursday night opportunity Zoom last week, right? There were several people that were on that opportunity Zoom and curious. And so Allison, I know for one, had a girl named Misty on the call. And so we're working on setting up a time to do just a private call with Misty to help her get her first 3 people. So a lot comes from those calls. But what also sometimes happen is we're like, oh, I plugged them in the opportunity call. I hope the wind blows in the right direction and they get thrown a bone and figure it out, right? That's not really what we want to do. We had them in on the opportunity Zoom. We want to then re-engage in our 3-way message with them. What are your thoughts on that? How can we best support you? Would you be open to creating a post surrounding your experiences with the reset? Help them vision cast for them one-on-one specifically. And if you don't know how to do that, do it in a 3-way message, which is best to do it that way anyways. But help them see what they can't see. Don't drop these people off and forget about them that were on the opportunity Zoom. Okay. It's really important to follow through with that in a really timely manner so that they can get moving forward. And that, because too, like we were talking about motivation before, they're motivated from that. And we don't have to like re-inspire them all over again. You want to move on that momentum that was created in those moments while that vision is still up for them. So make sure you use that as a catalyst. And then Thursday night, and I know we're going to get through month-end stuff here, but Thursday night, I'm doing a back to school event. I'm going to put all of the posts in, and I'm just recreating one that Brianne did. So I can't take credit. It's none of my posts or anything, but I'm going to be pre-programming all of the posts into Inspiring Wellness tomorrow. And so it'll just be like message, post 1, post 2, one of those, and it's all based on back to school. So also tomorrow morning, I will put some messages up that you can send people to invite them to that event. It's not going to be a Zoom meeting or anything live. It's just going to be an Inspiring Wellness, and it's going to be one of those messenger like events, not on Messenger though, like it's in Facebook. So invite people to that and get in that. And then like Brandy was telling us about getting engaged in that and commenting on that and all of that. That'll be a really good thing. So just to kind of recap, okay. Okay, so your point goals, right? Your immediate and your push goals, doing your follow-ups. I can post the verbiage if you guys need them on a good follow-up for the month. And then the opportunity event, following up with those people, and then using Thursday night's events to leverage your business as well and getting into a strong start of September. And I know that's kind of a little funky, awkward because it kind of overlaps the end of the month and the beginning of a month, but it's there for you as something that you can plug people into. So yeah, lots of things. I think that's probably good on the content for tonight, although I could probably talk with you guys for like 6 hours. So does anybody have any questions or like anything else to add at all? Anything that comes to mind? No, you guys are all golden. Good to go. Okay, awesome. Well, fantastic. Love you, ladies. Have an awesome night, and we will be chatting with you. Okay. Have a great rest of your week and a great end of the month. It's going to be awesome.